What happens when racists taunt a black coach on the field? They thought Wesley was a nobody, but his comeback left them speechless. Join us by subscribing to hear powerful stories of justice and triumph. You ever do something right and get slapped for it? That's my life in a nutshell. I'm James Carter, 56, history teacher at Lincoln High, standing at my chalkboard on a sweaty September day, trying to make the Civil War mean something to a room full of fifth graders. My old blazer, worn but proud, smells of chalk and yesterday's cologne. I'm mid-sentence about Abraham Lincoln when I notice Trey, one of my best kids, slumped at his desk, eyes red like he's been crying all night. Trey's a good soul, but life's been rough on him. Single mom, 2 jobs, dad long gone. After class, when the room clears, I pull him aside. Trey, what's eating you? You look like you lost a bet with fate. He mumbles, but I press, and he spills. The basketball coach, Clark, is kicking him off the team for bad behavior. Bad behavior? Trey's politer than half the staff here. I dig deeper and learn Clark flipped out when Trey asked why he wasn't playing. That's it. No fights, no trouble, just a kid wanting answers. I march to Clark's office, a sweaty gym closet reeking of cheap deodorant. He's a big white guy who thinks yelling is coaching. What's this about Trey? I ask. He barely looks up. Kid's mouthy. Don't need him. Mouthy? I push back, saying Trey deserves a shot. Clark smirks, but relents, not because he cares but because he doesn't want a scene. I leave, thinking I've won one for the kid. Trey lights up when I tell him, hugging me, big deal for a 13-year-old. I head home, humming Marvin Gaye, feeling like a hero. Next morning, I'm in the staff room grabbing my coffee when Mrs. Hayes, the vice principal, corners me. Her tight bun and pinched face scream trouble. Mr. Carter, we need to talk about your conduct, she says, like I'm a kid caught cheating. Conduct? I keep cool, asking, what's this about? She crosses her arms. You're meddling in matters that don't concern you. Coach Clark says you're undermining him by coddling a problem student. Problem student? Trey. I want to laugh, but her eyes tell me this ain't about Trey. It's about me, my skin, my voice, my nerve to exist. Consider this a warning, she says, smirking. I walk out, fists clenched, knowing this is just the start. Asterisk what happened next flipped everything. You won't want to miss how it went down, asterisk. I'm in the school hallway, Hayes's words burning a hole in my chest. A warning? For sticking up for a kid who's done nothing wrong. My coffee's cold, but I'm holding that mug like it's keeping my rage in check. Me, James Carter, 20 years teaching, knowing every kid's name, suddenly unprofessional. This ain't about Trey. It's about putting me in my place. I spot Hayes whispering with Clark in the hall, their eyes darting to me like I'm some crook who crashed their party. Clark's got that smug grin, like he's already won. Oh, you think you've got me, huh? Keep dreaming. I head to my classroom, determined not to let them see me sweat. My kids are waiting, and I plaster on a smile, diving into a lesson on Martin Luther King Jr. but my mind's racing, replaying Hayes's smirk, Clark's sneer. After class, Miss Ella, the librarian, a black woman in her 60s with eyes that be seen it all, pulls me aside. She shuts my classroom door and says, James, I heard about Hayes. Watch your back. She's not just admin, she's the system. I nod, her words sinking deep. Ella's been here forever, passed over for promotions because she didn't fit the image. System, huh? I say, my voice dripping sarcasm. Guess I'll have to give it a dance. She shakes her head, but her eyes spark. Don't dance alone, James. We've got you. I'm grading papers when Trey bursts in, out of breath. Mr. Carter, they're trying to kick me off the team again. Clark says I don't fit, and Hayes backed him. His voice cracks, and I feel my blood boil. They're not just coming for me, they're hitting my kids to prove a point. I calm him down, promising to fix it, but inside, I'm a volcano. I head to Hayes's office, but Rogers, the principal, a white guy who avoids trouble like it's his job, intercepts me. "James, my office. Now." His office smells of old books and polish. He sits, hands folded, and says, "I've got complaints from Hayes and Clark. You're stirring up tension by meddling. I'm looking into your conduct." I stare, disbelieving. "Tension? Me? You talk to Trey?" I ask. "Or are you just swallowing what Clark and Hayes feed you?" He sighs, like I'm a kid who doesn't get it. "Focus on teaching, James. Leave discipline to us." I walk out, feeling like I've been punched. This ain't a school. It's a machine, and I'm in its gears. Asterisk, this was just the spark. Stick around for the fire that came next, asterisk. I'm in my car on the school lot, Rogers's words echoing, "Focus on teaching," like that's all I am, a robot spouting history facts. My glasses fog up from the heat of my anger. I stare at Lincoln High's peeling walls, wondering how many kids like Trey are crushed because I'm supposed to stay in my lane. I drive home, Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" playing low, but my mind's a storm. I think of my late wife, Laura, her voice clear as day. "James, you're not just a teacher. You're a beacon for these kids." She's been gone 3 years, but her words keep me standing. I remember a night we were turned away from a theater, told tickets sold out, though the place was half empty. Laura held my hand, chin high, but later, in our car, she cried, asking, "Why's it always a fight, James?" That question haunts me now, sitting in my living room, her photo in my hands. I'm no superhero, just a man, and this fight's wearing me thin. Next day, I'm back at school, refusing to let Hayes and Clark win. But they're ready. In the cafeteria, I catch Hayes watching me, scribbling in a notebook like she's building a case. I slide next to Ella at lunch and mutter, "What, I'm under surveillance now." She snorts. "James, you've always been watched. They're just dropping the act." She leans in. "Heard Hayes told Rogers you're inciting kids. Stay sharp." Inciting? For teaching them to think. My stomach twists, but I nod. In class, Maria, a bright kid, raises her hand. "Mr. Carter, why's Trey off the team again?" "He didn't do anything." Other students murmur agreement, and I see it, they know the game's rigged. I say, "I'm handling it, but remember what I said about King. Sometimes you fight for what's right." Their eyes light up, giving me strength. But after class, Hayes storms in, no knock. "Mr. Carter, you're out of line discussing discipline with students. That's unacceptable." I stand, meeting her gaze. Unacceptable? Kicking Trey out for nothing, that's what's unacceptable. Her lips tighten. "You're getting an official warning. One more, and we'll talk termination." She leaves, and I sink into my chair, rage and helplessness clashing. This ain't about teaching. It's about my skin, my nerve to speak up. They want me gone, but I'm not budging. Asterisk, this was the line in the sand. You gotta see what I did next, asterisk. Morning after Hayes's threat feels like waking up in a boxing ring, bruised but ready. I adjust my glasses, Laura's photo on my dresser giving me that, "Get up, James, look." I head to school, determined to keep fighting, but the air's thick with their game plan. In the staff room, colleagues avoid my eyes. Even Miss Jenkins, who used to swap soul music stories, buries her face in papers. Hayes sent the memo, "Steer clear of Carter." I grab my water bottle, "Coffee's too much today," and walk out, their whispers stinging my back. My classroom's my sanctuary, but even there, the kids sense trouble. Trey pulls me aside before class, voice low. "Mr. Carter, I heard you're in hot water 'cause of me. I don't want you fired." His eyes are scared, and it cuts deep. I grip his shoulder. Trey, this ain't on you. It's on them. I'm not going anywhere. He nods, but the fear lingers. I start my lesson, but a knock interrupts. It's Rogers, holding a letter. James, second warning, he says, handing it over. You broke protocol by discussing internal matters with students. One more, and you're out. I read the letter, each word a nail in my coffin. Broke protocol. For giving kids hope. I want to tear it up, but I say, you talk to Trey. Or just buying Hayes and Clark's story. He frowns. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Do your job. He leaves, and I'm left with that paper, heavier than it should be. I know it's not a warning, it's a guillotine. After class, I hit the library to see Ella. She's shelving books, but stops when she sees me. James, they're piling on, aren't they? I show her the letter, and she sighs. I've seen this before. But you're not alone. We've got your back. I ask, how'd you keep going, Ella? How'd you not break? She smiles, bittersweet. For the kids, James. You're their beacon, like Laura said. Her words are a lifeline, but the weight's still crushing. In the hall, Clark blocks my path, arms crossed, smirking. Carter, had enough? Walk away while you can. I step closer, voice low. Clark, you scare kids, not me. Keep pushing, but I know the game. His face reddens, but he backs off. I walk away, heart pounding, ready for the next round. Asterisk, this was just the warm-up. Stay tuned for the explosion that followed, asterisk. I wake up feeling like I'm gearing for a showdown. Laura's photo on my nightstand gives me that fire, but doubts creep in. I adjust my glasses, humming Marvin Gaye to steady my nerves, and head to school. The tension's thick, Hayes glares from her office, Clark turns away like I'm invisible. But I'm not alone. In the staff room, Ella slips me a fresh water bottle, winking. James, hold tight. I talk to Pastor Williams. He's ready to roll. Pastor Williams is our neighborhood's rock, knew me when I was sneaking church candy as a kid. If anyone can rally folks, it's him. I nod, grateful, and head to class. Trey catches me in the hall, looking fiercer than usual. Mr. Carter, I told the team you fought for me. They're with you. I feel a warmth in my chest. These kids, man, they're my fuel. Stay strong, Trey, I say. I've got this. After class, I hit Miss Rita's diner, my spot for soul food and real talk. Rita, a black woman in her 50s with the best pecan pie in town, sees me and says, James, heard about your school mess. That's a disgrace. What do you need? I spill everything, Trey, Hayes, Clark, the warnings. She listens, shaking her head, then says, I'm calling my crew. We ain't letting them crush you. I try to protest, but she waves me off. You're ours, James. We fight together. Back home, I get an email from Rogers, disciplinary hearing in 3 days for unprofessional conduct. My stomach drops. They're not just firing me, they're trying to erase me. I call Pastor Williams, and he says, James, come to church tomorrow. We're planning something big. I thank him, but alone, staring at Laura's photo, fear hits. What if I let Trey down? Ella? Rita? My kids? I whisper, Laura, give me strength. Her smile's my answer. Asterisk, this was the turning point. You won't believe what we unleashed next, asterisk. The night before the hearing, I'm at Pastor Williams's church, and it's packed. Ella's there, Rita, Trey with his mom, students, parents, even Mr. Jones, the janitor who saw Clark bully Trey. Pastor stands tall, saying, James Carter's our brother. He's fighting for our kids, and we won't let the school break him. I look at these faces, my family, and feel fear fade. Trey steps up, voice steady. Mr. Carter, you taught us to fight. Now it's our turn. His mom adds, you gave my boy hope, James. We're with you. I nod, throat tight, knowing this is bigger than me. We plan, I'll face the hearing, and they'll hold a peaceful protest outside school. Rita's bringing her diner crowd, Ella's tipping off local news. I leave, heart pounding, ready for battle. But sleep doesn't come. I think of Laura, how we were denied a hotel room once, told, no vacancies, while white folks checked in. She held me together, but that night, her tears broke my heart. We'll make it, James, she said. Now, I'm fighting for her too. Morning of the hearing, I'm in my navy suit, Laura's favorite, glasses polished, soul music in my head. I walk into Rogers's office, facing Hayes, Clark, and a school board lawyer, a white guy with shark eyes. Hayes lists my sins, meddling, inciting students, unprofessionalism. Clark chimes in, saying I'm undermining his authority. I sit, letting them talk, feeling Laura's strength. When they're done, Rogers asks, James, what do you say? I stand, locking eyes with each. You're wrong. I don't incite, I teach kids to think. I don't meddle, I protect kids you're crushing. Trey's a good boy, and you're punishing him for asking questions. You think firing me will silence the truth? You're in for a surprise. Hayes scoffs. This isn't about truth, it's about your behavior. I smile, cold. Oh, Hayes, it's all about truth. And it scares you. Rogers says they'll decide later, dismissing me. I step out, hearing a roar outside. Through the window, I see a crowd, Rita, Ella, Trey, Pastor Williams, parents, kids, holding signs, justice for Carter. Trey deserves a chance. My eyes burn, but I hold it together. This ain't just my fight. It's ours. Asterisk, this was the moment it all changed. Stay for the shock that came next, asterisk. I'm at the window, watching the crowd outside Lincoln High, their signs and chants like a heartbeat. Rita's waving a "Justice for James" banner, Pastor Williams's voice booming through a megaphone. Trey's with his mom, holding her hand, pride in his eyes. This ain't just a protest, it's a declaration, we're here, and we ain't leaving. I feel Laura's spirit, pushing me forward. Back in Rogers's office, Hayes and Clark are doubling down. Hayes says the protest's my fault, that I'm stirring chaos. I laugh, sharp. Chaos? That's folks tired of your nonsense. Thought I was alone. Clark jumps up, pointing. You're ruining this school, Carter. You and your kids are a threat. I step closer, unflinching. Threat? The only threat's your bias. I'm not going anywhere. Rogers raises a hand, trying to calm things, but it's too late. The lawyer pipes up, Mr. Carter, stop this, or we'll escalate to the board. I grin, feeling Laura's fire. Escalate away. I've got a louder voice than you think. I walk out, the crowd's chants echoing in my chest. They're bigger now, and I see news vans pulling up. This ain't just a school fight, it's a movement. I join the crowd, and Pastor hands me the megaphone. This isn't just about me or Trey, I say. It's about our kids, our future. We won't stop till they listen. The crowd roars, Ella hugging me, Rita shouting, James, you're our man. I shake my head. Nah, we're all in this. This is our fight. But I see Hayes at a window, her face tight with rage. She knows this is bigger than her game. Asterisk, this wasn't just a stand. It was a revolution. You gotta see what we did next, asterisk. Day after the protest, school's buzzing like a kicked hive. My kids look at me with new hope, but the pressure's mounting. Rogers calls me in, and it's a full ambush: Hayes, Clark, and Miss Crow, a board member with eyes like ice. Crow starts, "Mr. Carter, your protest caused disruption. We're considering immediate termination." Disruption? I lean back, sarcasm dripping. Disruption's kicking kids like Trey out for nothing. I'm just shining a light on your mess. Hayes jumps in, venomous. You're manipulating students for your own agenda. People like you always stir trouble. There it is, people like you. I smile, cold. Agenda? Teaching kids to stand tall. Guilty as charged. Clark snorts, but he's sweating. You're undermining discipline, Carter. Kids like Trey don't belong. I lean forward. Kids like Trey? Or black kids, Clark? Say what you mean. His face goes red, and he shuts up. Rogers tries to play peacemaker. James, apologize, end the protests, and we'll drop this. I laugh, bitter. Apologize for being human? For not shutting up? Nah, Rogers. You owe Trey an apology, our kids, our community. Crow's lips thin. You've made your choice, Mr. Carter. I walk out, feeling the ground shake. Outside, the crowds groan, Rita's serving pie, pastors rallying, Trey's holding a sign. They chant, Carter. Carter, and I know, we're unstoppable. Asterisk, this was the breaking point. Stick around for the victory that shook them all, asterisk. I'm outside school, the crowd's energy like a pulse. My voice booms through the megaphone, but inside, I'm raw. Laura's words echo, truth's your weapon, James. But truth's heavy, and I'm feeling it. Nights are sleepless, worrying about Trey, my kids, what happens if I fail. I look at Laura's photo daily, her smile keeping me upright, but I'm human, not stone. I remember my first teaching job, passed over for a department head role because I was too outspoken. The principal said, James, you don't fit our culture. Laura held me that night, her voice soft but fierce, they're scared of you, baby. Keep shining. That pain's back now, and it's a fight to stay strong. Night before, I was at Pastor Williams's church, packed with allies. Ella brought her sister, Miss Joyce, a local reporter. James, I've seen schools crush teachers like you, Joyce said. Give me facts. I laid it out, Trey's story, Hayes' warnings, stats showing black kids at Lincoln get 3 times more suspensions than white ones for the same infractions. I found a report buried in the district's files. Clark had a complaint for racial bias years ago, but Hayes covered it up. Joyce's eyes lit up. This'll hit hard, James. Rita stood, fierce. My diner crew's coming tomorrow. We're doubling down. Trey spoke, voice firm. My teammates are with you, Mr. Carter. They know Clark's lying. I looked at them, my people, and fear eased. This was our fight. But that night, Rogers called, voice shaky. James, stop this. You're tearing the school apart. We'll compromise. I laughed, cold. Compromise? You mean silence? Game's over, Rogers. I hung up, adrenaline pumping, knowing they were scared. Asterisk, this wasn't just a fight. It was an earthquake. See how we shook the system next, asterisk. Morning of the public hearing, I'm suited up, Laura's favorite navy, glasses polished, Marvin Gaye in my head. I'm ready, but my heart's heavy. I'm fighting for Trey, my kids, Laura's legacy, and it's a lot. Outside school, the crowd's massive, hundreds, signs high, chanting. Rita's passing out coffee, pastors with reporters, Trey's in front with his mom. Ella hugs me. James, this is your stage. Own it. I walk into the auditorium for the hearing, facing Rogers, Hayes, Clark, and Crow, plus other board members. Crow reads my charges: inciting, breaking protocol, chaos. I let them talk, feeling Laura's fire. When they finish, I stand. You call this chaos? Chaos is punishing Trey for being black. Chaos is threatening me for protecting my kids. I'm not the problem, I'm exposing yours. I lay it all out, Trey's story, the stats, Clark's buried complaint, Hayes' surveillance. I talk about Laura, how we fought bias together, how I won't quit till my kids are safe. The room's silent, some board members shifting uncomfortably. Trey's allowed to speak, his voice shaking but strong. Mr. Carter believed in me when no one else did. Clark kicked me out for asking questions. It's not fair. His mom adds, my son deserves better. James is our hero. Hayes tries to interrupt, but the crowd outside chants, justice, drowning her out. Crow calls for order, but I see her confidence crack. Rogers says, we'll review this, but protests must stop. I smile. They stop when you do your job. Asterisk, this was the moment we waited for. Stay for the win that changed it all, asterisk. The hearing ends, but the fight's far from over. I step outside, the crowds roar like thunder. I grab the megaphone. We're not just fighting for me or Trey. We're fighting for every kid, every dream they try to steal. We'll win. Cameras flash, and I know we're on every news channel. Joyce's article, Teacher vs. System, drops, exposing Trey's case, the stats, Clark's history. The town's buzzing, and Hayes and Clark are sweating. Next day, I get a letter from the board, warnings lifted, I'm reinstated. Clark's suspended pending investigation, Hayes gets a reprimand. But I want more, real change. I call a church meeting, and it's standing room only. Pastor Williams, Rita, Ella, Trey, parents, kids, even Mr. Jones, the janitor, who says, I saw Clark bully black kids for years. I'm in. We form Carter's Voice, a group to protect students and push reform. Joyce pledges to cover every move, and Maria, a student, hands me a letter she sent the board supporting me. It went viral online. I hug her, pride swelling. In the staff room, Jenkins approaches, head down. James, I stayed quiet out of fear. I'm sorry. I'm with you now. I nod. Welcome aboard. At Rita's diner, a white customer says, I misjudged you, Mr. Carter. Keep fighting. Small wins, but they're piling up. I see Hayes in the hall, her eyes burning, but she's losing ground. Asterisk, this wasn't the end. It was a new dawn. See how we rewrote the rules, asterisk. A month later, I'm back in my classroom, and it feels different. Kids ask questions fearlessly, teachers speak up, the air's lighter. Trey's back on the team, scoring the winning shot in his first game, the crowd chanting his name. I'm on the bleachers, feeling Laura's smile from above. Carter's Voice is growing, we've forced anti-bias training, started district-wide reform talks, and launched scholarships for black kids. Rita's diner hosts fundraisers, Pastor Williams recruits allies, even Jenkins joins our meetings. I'm in class, watching Trey and Maria shine, knowing this is my legacy. I pull Laura's photo from my desk drawer, whispering, we did it, baby. At Rita's that night, the place erupts in cheers. Rita hugs me. James, you changed this town. I shake my head. We did, Rita. Together. A kid hands me a drawing of me teaching, labeled, Mr. Carter, our hero. I raise my water glass, toasting Laura, Trey, every soul who felt invisible. We're here, louder than ever. Asterisk, this ain't over. It's a revolution. Stay to see how we keep rising, asterisk.